Hello, hello. Welcome back to Christmas in July week. My name is Jen Pitterbuck and I am the owner of By the Shore Stamping. And this week we are doing all things holiday. I know it seems really early, especially for those of you that are not crafters perhaps, but it is time to start preparing for our holiday projects. So I hope you guys are having fun and enjoying some peeks of the new catalog. So hopefully this is working okay. I'm getting some weird freezing on my computer, so hopefully it's just the computer. But go ahead and give me a shout if you're watching live today. I always love to know who's here with me. Shelby and I are hanging out again at home because it's just brutally warm out, and I shouldn't say that because we are in much better shape than a lot of other places, especially being near the water. But it is quite hot today, and so I wasn't quite ready to go back into the attic studio. So we are at home again, and I'm just going to try and get this to pull up on my computer because it's not liking this. So today I'm actually going to play with the same bundle I played with yesterday, but I feel like I didn't really play with the bundle yesterday because we didn't really use any of the reindeer or any of that kind of stuff. So we're using the Regal Reindeer bundle again, and today I'm pairing it with the Celebration freebie, the gold and silver 6x6 designer series paper that you can get for free with a qualifying order. So that's what we're doing today. I'm super excited to share today's project. Hey Joanne, because it's really cute. I think it's my favorite so far this week, so we'll see what you guys think at the end. One thing I did want to mention, if you're on my email list, or if you're not, just a heads up, you may want to join quickly because later, probably tomorrow after our live, I have been pulling together PDF tutorials of all of our projects for this week. So if you're on my email list, you will get those PDF tutorials in your email inbox. So those are only going out to my email subscribers. So if you'd like PDF tutorials of all of our projects from this week, go ahead and click the sign up button at the top of this page. That will bring you to my email sign up list. And if you're having any trouble whatsoever, just give me a shout and I can get you added as well. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this around and we can get started. Give me 1 second to get set up. Hopefully this is all in place as it should be. There we go. That looks good. Hi Deb, hi Joanne. All right, so we're gonna use this guy again with the reindeer dies, which I think are here. I'm finally getting set up here at home that I kind of know where everything is now, that I'm setting up my little makeshift studio at home. It's kind of nice to be back at home. I'm kind of considering maybe bringing everything home. It's just really hard because I have to work out of a little corner of my bedroom. If we had out of my bedroom where we sleep every night. If I had a separate room, I probably would do it without even thinking about it, just because it is nice to be home with little Shelby girl and not have to bring stuff out. I mean, it's got its perks and advantages because sometimes it's really nice to just get away from the house and have focused time, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it this week. But we'll be back to regular scheduled programming next week, probably with me at the office. But anyway, we're using this guy again. I love these little reindeer. I think this is a very elegant stamp set, very traditional kind of vibe for this one, and I just love all the dies that go along with it too. So yesterday we created this card using the bundle, but we really just used a sentiment and some tree dies from the dies, so we really didn't use the stamp set that much. So that's why I wanted to kind of use that today. So I'm also pairing this with, hello Colleen, hi Susan, hey Teresa. Yeah, it's cool here in the house. We have the air conditioning on, so that's nice. So I also wanted to pair this with the silver and gold 6x6 specialty paper. This is a $50 freebie for Celebration. So if you order $50 or more right now from Stampin' Up, you can pick this pattern paper. Trying to get it so that you can see, for free as a freebie. So you've got gold stripes, gold polka dots, silver stripes, silver polka dots. There's 24 sheets. So what is that? 6 sheets each of each pattern. So you get quite a bit of paper all for free, just for spending $50 or more before tax and shipping. So that's what I'm going to focus on today. In fact, I'm going to use that stripe paper that was on top, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this to 4 by 5 1/4 while it's sitting right here. I am going to use a lot of the same stuff we used yesterday. Like I said, we're using this Regal Reindeer bundle, and I'm also going to use that really pretty shimmer ribbon again. So, and I'm using thick basic white cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead. I cut this the long way, so I cut it at 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and then scored on the long side at 5 1/2 to make a either top loading card, or in this case I'm going to actually do a side folding, but it's going to be long that way. So once I've got this paper cut, I can go ahead and I'm going to just go ahead and attach this. I like surprising you guys with the project instead of showing you in advance, but I'm sure you guys like to see it in advance, but I like surprises. All right, so I'm going to attach that. Hi, Pat. So the other thing we're going to do today is we're going to do some embossing, some heat embossing, you guys. And I want to point out something in case you missed it in the catalog. It has not arrived at my doorstep, but it is on the way, I believe. Although I've been doing this a lot lately. I think I order stuff and then I didn't. So here on page 49 of your holiday catalog, if you have one, or you can find it in the online store, it's called the Embossing Editions Toolkit. They brought back the most awesome embossing tray. So you can actually sprinkle your powder. I wish I had it here because it would have been much more helpful today. But you drop your stamped image with Versamark into the tray, sprinkle it with the embossing powder, then shake it all off right into the tray, and then you can pour that embossing powder right out through the tip here. And then you've also got a little paintbrush to take off any stray embossing powder. You've got your embossing buddy, which you should always use prior to embossing. It just keeps the static cling from putting little polka dots on your projects. And then it also has the reverse tweezers, crafting tweezers. So those are awesome too, to kind of hold things in place and not burn your fingers. So if you haven't seen that already, it's a great addition if you love embossing. It's $27. It's a great little tool to have in your craft room, and I love that it has some extra additions in it too. All right, so now I'm going to take a piece of Cherry Cobbler cardstock. This one measures 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. I'm just going to scroll down here because I can see some more comments that I can't see. Hey, Pat. Oh, nice. It's a great day for a pond. Actually, we might do that later today. We'll see. We were going to do it yesterday, but we got kind of sidetracked. So I honestly, well, I don't really like to swim in the beach, but I like to go to the beach better. But swimming, I do like the little pond that's nearby here. So I will kind of go take a dip in there, especially when it's this hot. So, oh, good for you. I'm glad you're vacationing. These will all be here next week when you get home, so no worries. And they're all, well, not all of them, but most of the ones that have been done already up to yesterday are all on my YouTube channel too. So if you're not following me on YouTube, feel free to go find me there. It's also under By the Shore Stamping. I'm actually just under 2,000 subscribers. So I'd love some new subscribers if you don't already subscribe, so I can hit that 2,000 mark. Not for anything in particular. It's not like I get anything. It's just because I want to. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this little piece here. And it's a little tricky because the waves aren't straight. So I'm going to use my grid paper as a guide here. So there we go. I'm just going to tape that down just like that. And then I did use my Stylish Shapes dies again, and the same paper I used yesterday. I love this pattern. It's so pretty. But you can see I used the, I think it's this one. I used the second largest circle to cut that out, and my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. The cool thing about both of these dies, the Stylish Shapes and the reindeers, are that they fit in the mini catalog. I mean, in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And I was saying catalog because I wanted to show this to you too. So if you see in the catalog, so see this little icon, the little mini icon? That means all of the dies in that die set will fit in the mini. So if it doesn't have that icon, then you'll need the larger embossing machine to be able to cut them. But this one fits in the mini, which is good. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this as well. You could use either side, and in fact I originally started with the darker green, but then when I went to go tape it on and I flipped it over, I just liked the way the lighter green looked. So I'm going to put this down in the center of that red cherry cobbler, meaning centered this way, but I'm going to move it over to the right a little bit in terms of placement this way. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a piece of soft succulent cardstock, and I'm going to grab my Versamark ink and my sentiment, and we're going to go ahead, first off, we're going to go ahead and rub our cardstock with the embossing putty. Like I said, that just takes some static out of the paper and prevents all those little like dots from getting onto, like stray dots of embossing powder from getting onto the cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and use the embossing powder. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to make the noise. It's too loud on the video. But we'll ink it up in the Versamark and stamp it onto the cardstock. And then as soon as we've stamped that, we go ahead and we sprinkle this embossing powder on the cardstock and then heat set it with your heat tool. And this is the reason why I'm not going to do it on camera, although it is pretty magical. So you would use the highest setting all the way down, and then you would heat set your greeting, and then through the magic of video, you get your embossed sentiment. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to cut a banner end on this side. Those are really good dies. I like the stylish shapes. Whoops. There we go. So I'm going to cut in the middle and go corner to center. And it's funny, it's one of those die sets that when you look at the catalog, you want like all these other things because they seem more like flashy and fun, but those are just great staples that you will use over and over again. So Dove, love that. Yes, Liz, there's nothing better than the magic of embossing. That was what really hooked me originally. So now I'm going to go ahead and attach this right into that center part of the cherry cobbler part. So we're going to do the same thing, and again, I'm going to just walk you through it, but I'm not going to actually do it. So you're going to take a piece of basic white cardstock and our reindeer stamp, and I don't know, maybe I should do it just so you can see. I'll do it really quick, but I'm not going to finish it off. So you ink it up in Versamark, and when you ink, you're going to see that you actually can't see the image. So I can kind of see the outline here, but I'm sure you cannot. So see, there's a little, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There is a little reindeer there, and I don't want to wait too long because that step between stamping and sprinkling, you want to do somewhat quickly, and I just sprinkle all over, and this is where that handy little tray comes in really handy. So I wouldn't have to worry about getting it all over my table. So once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and funnel this back in, and again with that handy tool it funnels right back in really easily. Okay, and then you've got your image there with the powder. Okay, now see, I have all of this all over the place, but I'm going to just wipe it off carefully. Notice how I moved the embossing powder, because ask me how many times I put this down and then wiped off and just like swiped that right off the table. Yeah, that's never fun. That's a hot mess, you guys. You do not want to do that. All right, so now that I've done that, I have my image. I could use my little paintbrush if I had my little embossing kit if it had arrived yet. You could use your little paintbrush to wipe off any excess parts, and then you would use your heat tool, and I'm not going to do the whole thing here, but I'll try and show you this magic because it is really cool. You're going to just go ahead and use the heat tool, and it does take it a couple of minutes to get hot enough to actually make it melt, but basically what you're doing is you're melting the powder. So you don't want to touch this right now before you've heat set it because it will just wipe it right off. So you want to make sure that when you stamp with the Versamark, you get that powder on it right away, and then you're going to heat set it. You can set those aside, just don't touch them until you're ready to heat set. So you could do like mass producing and get it to the point where all the powder is on and set them aside and then do all your heat embossing at the same time. But you don't want to like stamp them all and then go back and put the embossing powder on because it won't stick. The ink will have dried in the meantime and it won't stick very well. So then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to heat set this. I don't know, it's starting to turn. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera. It is pretty magical when it happens. I'm going to just go ahead and heat set this. Again, I don't think you can actually see it. So So it's not quite as magical when it's not in person, but you get the idea. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish it off so it doesn't rub off. Okay, I like to kind of hold it in one place until it gets hot, and then I move it around. And it looks like I've got everything. So once you've finished, I usually give the little test where I kind of like rotate it in the light and make sure that all of it's sparkly, none of it's dull. If you got any part that's like kind of dull and faded, then it didn't melt, and so it's not completely embossed. So you want to just hit it with the heat tool again. But I then took the reindeer dies, which are part of the bundle, and I have this little guy right here, and so you would put this around your embossed image, roll it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine or whatever die cutting machine you have, and then you get this. So you have your cute little reindeer here. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use some dimensionals to pop this up. So I just kind of spread them out a little bit. The mini dimensionals are perfect for this one because they fit right into those little crevices and whatnot. And we'll put one right there. Okay, and then we're just gonna take the backings off of the mini dimensionals. Okay, and I tend to do more than you probably need. I just like to make sure it stays even, especially when it's shipped, or mailed, I should say. And then I'm gonna just attach that right up against that piece on earth and covering the bottom of that soft succulent cardstock. So there's that, but I'm not quite done yet. We still need to do a little bit of embellishing. So I'm gonna take this really pretty gold shimmer ribbon. I love this stuff. It's so pretty and it ties a wonderful bow. So I'm gonna do what I call an air bow. So I'm tying the bow in the air here. And I want kind of a small one. So I'm gonna go ahead, tie it, and then we're gonna floof it, but I'm gonna make it much smaller. So I'm gonna kind of pull this down, make it a little bit tinier, and then I'll kind of fluff it up again. So just get your fingernails in there and pull it back out a little bit. Maybe if I can get I made it a little tiny. I can get it in there. And then we'll do that. So now I'm just gonna kind of pull that a little bit, tighten it like that. I want the bow pieces to come down, so I'm just gonna pull those down a little bit. And then I'm gonna trim this down so it's pretty short tails. Okay. There we go. This one I kind of cut wonky, so let me just fix that. There we go. Move that out of the way. So I've got just this cute little bow, and I'm gonna use my mini glue dots. This one's got some frayed edges, so let me just cut that off. And then we'll use mini glue dots to attach this. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick my bow right down on top of a mini glue dot, push down, and then when you pull it off, the glue dot comes off on the back, and I can go ahead and attach that to my card, which I'm gonna put right there. Okay. And like I said yesterday, I am very low on embellishments, which I don't know why, but I do like these iridescent rhinestones because they kind of have a little bit of a gold look to them. They've got a yellow kind of look in there, so I feel like it picks up the gold. So I'm going to use these on my card. And again, I always like to work in odd numbers, so I'll put 3 of these on here. And these are the big ones, so they're a little chunky. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck this one under the reindeer a little bit so it's not quite so in your face, and then we'll stick one down here too by the bow. And there we have our finished project for today. So if you missed the beginning, make sure you're on my email list, because at the end of the week I'm going to go ahead and send an email with all the tutorials for all of our projects this week. So you'll get tutorials for not only this card, but the one we did yesterday, the one we did on Tuesday, and the one we did on Monday, plus whatever we do tomorrow. So if you want these printable tutorials that you can use again and again. You can go ahead and just join my email list. The link is above. If you're not already on it, just hit the sign up button at the top of this page, and that will bring you to my email sign up form, and then you'll get these tutorials for free just for following along. But they're not going to be posted anywhere else. They're just going to be sent to my email subscribers. So a little perk for those of you that get my emails every week. So I appreciate you and thank you for that. So that will be coming your way later this week. But we, of course, will be back again tomorrow. I think the time is still going to be 2 p.m. Eastern like usual. So we will be back with another project for day 5. Of course, if you found anything you wanted or needed this week, feel free to use my shopping link and use that host code for a free gift as well. So remember, you can earn a free gift from Stampin' Up for every $50 you spend. So this really pretty gold paper, the gold and silver paper, you can earn for free with a $50 order. And then there's other options too. If you don't really love this paper, there's options for $50 orders or $100 orders and every combination thereof. So for every $50 you spend, you get another option to pick a free gift. Plus, with that host code, you'll also get a free embellishment, brand new from the holiday catalog from me at the end of the month with your thank you card. So lots of things to take advantage of this week during Christmas and July week. If you have any questions or need help, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you again tomorrow for another project. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.